build. Hi, so this week for my vlog, I want to tell you about a wonderful service opportunity I had. I was able to spend my Tuesday and just go build a wheelchair ramp. This is a huge departure from the norm for me. I've never used real power tools except for some minor repairs I've done with people. So I was really stretching myself as far as my comfort zone. I'm like, I don't know how to use a belt sander or a saw or a drill. I don't know how to use a drill. So I was like, I'm gonna learn. And I was really encouraged by one of my coworkers, Derek, who goes out and serves alongside the Carpenter sons. It's a wonderful group of retired gentlemen. I believe that we've kind of covered them in the neighboring podcast, and we've also mentioned them on our social media because these guys are prolific. They go out religiously every Tuesday and serve, usually no matter rain or shine. This Tuesday, it was storming, but we were still going out there, and until it thundered and lightning, we kept working. And thankfully, it never got to that point. We had a couple close calls, but mostly we were just serving, and it started with an 8 a.m. breakfast at Sunrise Cafe. So if you are on north side of Fort Wayne and ever see a giant table at Sunrise Cafe on Tuesday mornings, it's the Carpenter sons. And these guys, I asked all of them, I'm like, hey, so what's your background in construction? And a lot of them were like, I don't have a background. I just want to serve. I know that I have time, I'm retired, so I'm learning. And a lot of them were learning right alongside of me, and that was super cool to see. And it was also amazingly convicting because some of these guys, 70, 80 years old, they have arthritis, they have bad knees, bad backs, but they're still lifting lumber and working all day in the hot sun. It's just truly amazing. And the amount of work that goes into a wheelchair ramp build, and these guys are always doing wheelchair ramps. They have it pre-built. So to build a wheelchair ramp, it's a bunch of 2x4s that you have to cut then into braces. So at the job site, you have a saw that you're using to specifically cut pieces, but you're also dealing with a bunch of lumber that you've hauled there, some of which are already constructed into what they call UEs, which becomes the handles and the support piece underneath. It's a pretty elaborate structure, and the one that we were building the day that I served was 37 feet long, because American Disabilities Act says that in order to have a manageable incline for someone who is walking impaired, mobility impaired, or in a wheelchair, 1 inch down, 1 foot over. That makes a pretty long ramp. Almost every time, because think about it, if you have 3 steps, you're already looking at a significant, maybe how many feet ramp. So trying to see how you work with that in a small space. So we had to make a ramp that looped around and back around and went down, and then we had to clear out pavers, and just there's so much intelligence that goes into these projects. Our volunteers are so dynamic, and watching them work, they have to deal with real constraints like, hey, we have these steps, now we've got to take these steps, and what are we going to do with it? We don't want to waste the steps that were here, because this person had been going in and out of their house before, but now had a situation where they were disabled and they had to get a wheelchair ramp. So we decided, hey, let's pivot them. So it used to be that you had the house, the steps came out this way. Well, we moved them like this so that people walking up to the house can still go up the stairs if they're able-bodied, but alongside those stairs would come the wheelchair ramp as it looped around and back. So really using your resources, not wasting anything. We use all of our scraps. We use even the little stubs to make braces underneath and really support that structure. The layers upon layers of things that I learned about, well, you've got to make sure that there are other beams actually supporting the cross beams, because it can't just be the cross beam, because what if he needs an electric wheelchair leader? Those things are heavy. How do we support it? I learned so many things that I didn't know, so many interesting complexities about a project like that. There's no standard real wheelchair ramp because there's so many extenuating circumstances. Is there concrete to put it on? Are you doing it on grass? How are you going to keep it level? It's amazing what our volunteers do. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to just be out there and serve alongside them. I tried to do some of the dirtier jobs and get underneath the braces and put things down, because I'm like, you guys are 60 years older than me. I have no excuse to not get on my hands and knees and do the hard work. And they were so kind and patient with me, because not knowing anything about tools, I learned how to use a belt sander, a drill, a saw thing, that hand saw thing. I don't know what it's called, rotating saw? Maybe. Learned a lot of things, was very afraid, but I didn't cut myself or hurt anyone else. I did get a lot of wood chips though. It was amazing. It was just and just seeing, we built that ramp, that 37-foot ramp in a day because of the hard work and teamwork of these guys. We had guys come from different projects that they had completed, because we had like 6 projects going on. The Carpenter sons were doing 6 projects on a Tuesday, and the guys who finished first, they didn't say, oh, we're done early. They came and helped us with our project. That level of dedication, teamwork, and service is just really enheartening to see. And they're always looking for people. So all of my young peers who really want to learn how to use tools and do things to support the community, maybe you have time this summer, you can go serve with them, I promise. They won't say no. So if you're interested, you can always contact me and I will get you connected because it's worth it. You should go serve alongside them. They have they have a wealth of experience. They also know what it's like to kind of see the project evolve, how difficult it is to adapt the project circumstances. And also, they have the heart of, we are serving because we love our neighbor. And it's wonderful to see that in action.